Todd Phillips. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I'm a global citizen. I started out when me and a few friends started the chapter of Engineers Without Borders at the University of Manitoba. And to that we grew. I became president of the chapter and then graduated. And after that, I always kind of felt like I still want to do something. I want to get more involved, so I decided to get some experience, and I moved to Thailand for 2 years. I was teaching in Bangkok just at a school, but at the same time I was volunteering with Habitat for Humanity in Thailand, as well as teaching English to some impoverished women in the core of prostitutes and street workers, things like that, who were trying to learn English to improve their career. And I spent the last 3 months of my time there in a Burmese refugee camp. I traveled up north to the Thai-Burma border, where I taught English and leadership at a college that had been built inside one of the camps for 3 months. And then upon my return, I started to get heavily involved with Doctors Without Borders, realizing that's a career path I really wanted to go down. So I've just been accepted to them, and I'm going for training in February in about a month to do that, and hopefully go on my first mission with them very soon, as well as I'm still heavily involved now with Engineers Without Borders. Major changes would probably revolve around our own government and our own perceptions in Canada. People have this perception, especially of Africa and of other poor places, of the starving African with distended belly, when that's a very, very small percentage of it. Most of them, they work very hard, very long hours, very clever. They may have never had access to a formal education, but they are smart and have the opportunity if you give it to them. So the first thing is, by changing people's perceptions of what they can and can't do, will, I think, help them a lot. Because that leads to changing our government and our own trade barriers, which we have with a lot of these countries, subsidies on agricultural products, things like this, as well as how our aid money is spent and how we interact with them. Because right now, a lot of our governments just aren't playing fair with the trade rules, and there's no way some of these people can compete in their own markets, build their own economy with this happening. We can kind of give them aid and dump aid onto them, but really what would help them more than anything is if they had more trade and had fair trade rules. The most important thing I'd say is to get involved. And I understand this isn't for everybody, and I would love if everyone got involved, but there is such a level of apathy out there that it actually makes your voice stronger, I feel, because 90% of the people aren't using their voice. So if you're one of that 10% that is, people are going to listen to you more. You're not competing as much. I would love to see a world where everyone is in politics, is talking about issues, helping out. So I would say get involved in an organization like one of the ones I mentioned, or something else like the Red Cross or CARE or Oxfam, all great groups. You can do so much more as a group than as an individual. As well, if you're not a person who's interested in getting involved, just realize that your everyday actions have an impact overseas. How you spend your money, how you get to work. If you spend money when you buy groceries, know where your food comes from. Is it local? Is it from afar? Is it hurting the climate? Is it traded fairly? Who grew that food? How were they treated? Things like clothes, sweatshop free and ethical. They're hard to find, but they're becoming more and more available, especially here in Winnipeg. So think about your money. Your money, like I said before about trade, has a huge impact overseas. So I feel that if you know how you spend your money, you make a concerted effort to spend it, which isn't that hard, I think you'll have a huge difference overseas, especially when you start to add up all the people who are doing it. Be yourself, be bold, be the change.